You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. All right, folks, let's talk about what happened yesterday in Wisconsin. They went forward their election despite, common sense. All these crazy-ass Republicans, of course, wouldn't do it. We're not going to know the results until April 13th. But Madison, Wisconsin Mayor Satya Rhodes-Conway says her office is hearing reports that voter turnout seems low. But even though they had record absentee ballot. Now, it's no surprise considering Republicans demanded the primary be held during a pandemic. Donald Trump expressed his concern about mail-in voting in a press briefing yesterday. Y'all, watch this ignorant fool.
So you were highly critical of mail-in voting, mail-in ballots for voting.
I think mail-in voting is horrible.
You voted by mail
corrupt.
in Florida's election last month, didn't you?
Sure, I could vote by mail for that.
How do you reconcile
because I'm
that?
allowed to. Well, that's called out of state. You know why I voted? Because I happen to be in the White House and I won't be able to go to Florida to vote.
But let me just say,
well, there's a big difference between somebody that's out of state and does a ballot and everything's sealed, certified, and everything else. You see what you have to do with the certifications. And you get thousands and thousands of people sitting in somebody's living room signing ballots all over the place. No, I think that mail-in voting is a terrible thing. I think if you vote, you should go. And even the concept of early voting is not the greatest because a lot of things happen. But it's okay. But you should go and you should vote. I think you should go and you should vote. You look at what they do where they grab thousands of mail-in ballots and they dump it. I'll tell you what, and I don't have to tell you, you can look at the statistics. There's a lot of dishonesty going along with mail-in voting, mail-in ballots.
Last I checked, the people who really did that were Republicans in North Carolina. Joining me right now is Cliff Albright. He's co-founder of Black Voters Matter. Cliff, welcome back to Roland Martin Unfiltered. You heard that fool talk there. And so here's the thing that all these people are talking about, we need to go to a mail-in voting system. Here's the reality. We have a current system. It's an absentee ballot system. And so... Look, we don't know what's going to happen in November. We don't know if we're going to get past this coronavirus deal, but you have to be planning or expecting that this thing is going to continue, and you may have to go to that system. But you're hearing this stuff, and to say, well, yeah, I voted because I'm in the White House. I couldn't vote in Florida. It's no different, fool.
You're exactly right, and that's literally what we're facing right now in Georgia, where they have actually shifted the regular absentee voting process to become a vote by mail. They've opened it up to everybody. You don't need an excuse. And they've mailed the applications for the absentee ballot to all active voters. So on first glance, some people say, oh, Georgia's ahead of the curve. But the problem is this. We have a Secretary of State here who literally, with one hand they give and then with 4 or 5 other hands, they're taking it away, right? And so, the challenge is, okay, so you're mailing these ballots, but what they're not doing is they're not including pre-postage paid envelopes with that. And so that creates an extra burden on the voters where they now have to go out and get a stamp or something to send back the actual applications. I don't know about y'all. I haven't had a stamp in my house in years. Right? And we're talking about
right. I don't know where a stamp is.
Exactly. And we're talking about folks in communities where, it's hard for them to go get a stamp, especially since, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We actually have some shelter and stay-at-home rules that says they shouldn't even be out going to the post office, right? That's not an essential trip. And so you've got all kinds of issues in terms of how you go about doing these vote by mail programs. There's issues of, do you need to include your ID? Do you need to have a signature or a witness or some type of affidavit? There's all kinds of ways that you can take the vote by mail process and make it be extra difficult. And with every obstacle that you put in place, it's literally the same thing as what happens when you move a polling place a mile or 2 away or you close polling places. What we know is for every mile that voter turnout goes down, it's the same thing with vote by mail. For every obstacle, for every impediment that you put in the way, voter turnout will go down.
But let's be clear. Republicans want to stop any attempt to have mass voting because they're on record. Trump is on record. Hey, if we got mass voting, we lose. They want to shrink the voting population to benefit them. Period. And I keep telling everybody, you saw it in Wisconsin. Republicans are not going to play fair. They're not going to say, let's do what's right. They're going to do what they need to do to win.
You're exactly right. And not just Trump, like right here in Georgia, the Republican Speaker of the House is on record saying the same thing. Like, oh, if you expand this voting, if you send these ballots out to more people, Republicans will never win something. So
right. Right. He literally said it. He literally said it. You do this, we're not going to win anything.
That's right. That's right. And so they're shameless in their attempts to grab power. Even when you look at the Wisconsin speaker, like I'm sure you've seen it. Everybody, your watchers have seen the video of their speaker dressed up in all kinds of PPE, all kinds of wraps and masks.
Yeah, I played it yesterday. Yeah, he's got a full suit, hat, gloves, mask, saying, hey, it's safe to vote.
Right. And so they're shameless about the way they're going about it. The response is this: we have got to be just as ruthless in our desire to protect the vote, right? We have got to be just as ruthless in our desire to go out and expand the vote to every legal voter, right? To every legal registered voter, that we have got to be just as ruthless in that process. And what we're going to see is, in these next round of debates that we have coming up about the next round of COVID relief, will the Democrats use this opportunity to make sure that they get inserted into some of this legislation, the money and the policies to make sure that vote by mail can be done legitimately and effectively in November. But they're going to have to show some courage. You know, when the heat comes on them and they're like, oh, we just need a deal, they're going to have to show some courage to say, look, this is our moment to make sure that we get this done right. Because if you don't do this right in November, then it's just going to be just all heck breaking loose.
What else do you want African Americans to be focusing on while we're sort of in this stage and trying to figure out what's going to happen? What should black voters be doing?
I mean, at the end of the day, I think we have to recognize our power, right? We have to stay connected to one another. We have to stay hopeful. The truth is that, we're Black Voters Matter. We live this every day, but we've even been hesitant to go hard on some of the voting messages right now because what we recognize is folks are going through some stuff right now. There's some folks that right now the last thing they want to hear is about an absentee or vote by mail because they're trying to deal with, their job or somebody who's sick and in the hospital. And so part of what we've been trying to do is just to help folks be connected, to find ways to provide mutual aid and support for one another, to find this balance between what we're demanding of those that are in elected positions, but also balancing that with self-determination in the ways that we help ourselves, and making sure that even in this moment that we're still centering Black joy and Black love and Black culture and Black hope. And so those are the things that I think we're trying to remind people of, but also reminding folks that that part of that process has got to be making sure that we hold power, that we gain power. And it's not just about the presidential election. It's all about all the way down to tickets, because what we're seeing in this moment is that, it's governors that are making decisions around how these states are responding. It's state representatives that are making decisions around unemployment insurance and other policies around rent moratoriums. It's local officials at the city and county level. Even when the governors are acting a fool, it's been local elected officials that have been putting smarter policies in place. And so we want folks to stay hopeful and engage all up and down the ballot. All
right, Cliff Albright, co-founder of Black Voters Matter. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Roland.
And I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications.